Professor Draxthor stood before his advanced weapons engineering class with the enthusiasm of someone who lived for creative destruction. The eight-limbed Craxian had designed weapons for 3 galactic wars and now taught the next generation of military innovators. Your final project, he announced, his mandibles clicking excitedly, is to design a novel weapon system. Something the galaxy has never seen. You have 4 weeks and full access to the fabrication labs. The students immediately began brainstorming. Vrelians designed plasma disruptors with recursive targeting. Korthians created swarm missiles with hive coordination. The Zephyrites engineered crystalline weapons that grew stronger with each discharge. Every project focused on maximum lethality, range, and destructive capability. Except for Alex Chen's proposal. A multi-tool? Professor Draxthor read the submission with confusion. This is weapons engineering, Cadet Chen, not camping equipment design. Alex stood confidently before the review board. Professor, with respect, I believe I'm addressing the actual problem. The problem is creating superior weaponry. No sir, the problem is that weapons are single-purpose tools that become obsolete or useless when contexts change. I'm proposing something better, a modular system that makes dedicated weapons redundant. Draxthor's eyes narrowed. Explain. Over the next 3 weeks, Alex worked in the fabrication lab with an intensity that worried his classmates. He wasn't building one device, he was building an entire philosophy. On presentation day, while other students showcased devastating weapons capable of leveling cities or piercing battleship armor, Alex placed a compact metallic object on the demonstration table. It looked disappointingly mundane, roughly the size of a large wrench, with various attachments folded into its frame. This, Alex began, is the MTAC, Modular Tactical Adaptive Configuration System. He pressed a button. The device unfolded into a plasma cutter. Another press, an electromagnetic grappling launcher. Another, a shield generator. Another, a cutting tool. Another, a signal jammer. Another, a welding torch. 17 different configurations, Alex explained. Each one addresses a tactical need without being a dedicated weapon. It can breach doors, disable electronics, create defensive positions, repair equipment, or yes, if absolutely necessary, serve as a weapon. But that's its least interesting function. Professor Draxthor's mandibles twitched. This is clever engineering, but how does this replace weapons? Alex smiled. Because weapons only destroy, Professor. They're expensive, specialized, and useless once their specific combat scenario ends. Soldiers carrying weapons can only fight. Soldiers carrying adaptive tools can solve any problem. He demonstrated further. The device could cut through walls, generate electromagnetic pulses, create temporary shelters, hack electronic systems, provide emergency medical cauterization, and even serve as a universal power source. Humans learned this lesson over centuries, Alex continued. Our most successful military innovations weren't better guns, they were better tools. Trenching equipment. Radio communication. Night vision. Medical kits. The armies that won wars weren't always the ones with the biggest weapons, but the ones who could adapt fastest to changing conditions. A Vrelian student objected. But in direct combat, dedicated weapons will always be superior. True, Alex nodded. In one specific scenario. But combat is 5% of military operations. The other 95% is logistics, construction, repair, reconnaissance, and problem-solving. My tool excels at all of that while still being combat-capable. Your plasma cannon is incredible at destroying things and useless for everything else. He held up the MTAC. This represents human military philosophy. We don't prepare for the battle we expect, we prepare to adapt to whatever actually happens. Weapons make you ready for one scenario. Tools make you ready for every scenario. Professor Draxthor examined the device, his 8 hands testing each configuration. The engineering was flawless. The philosophy was revolutionary. This doesn't just replace weapons, the professor said slowly. This replaces the entire concept of specialized military equipment. Alex grinned. Now you're getting it, sir. That semester, Alex received the highest marks in class history, not for building the best weapon, but for making the entire category obsolete. The galactic military immediately classified his design and began reverse engineering it. Humans, they realized, didn't think about warfare the same way other species did. They thought about survival, and survival required adaptability, not firepower. The MTAC became standard issue across the Federation within 2 years. Wars became shorter. Occupations became more stable. Reconstruction happened faster. All because one human asked, what if the best weapon is the one that doesn't need to be used?